out so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
What's tight? Tight end's right. What's tight? Tight end's right.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar. A touchdown on a kick. Both offenses have been clicking in this one. A lot of points on the board. We'll see if that trend continues. And out now come the Eagles. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always pleasant.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Andre Branch. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw.
And the pressure gets to him again. Andre Branch in there to get him his 2nd sack now in the end. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. He's going to rifle one deep left side and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Cameron Wake, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack. Oh, that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that. And the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So now this offense will take over, and they will have the football at their own 20-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do.
He's got a man. Complete. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 44 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know that came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
He's going to let this one go. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Did you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we reached the point. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 27. A big play there for Philly. 48 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Buying time to his left. Mac Hollins, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line.